All right, so let's start coming back to the room, guys. Start coming back to the room. So we're gonna get things started. So first things first, guys, I just wanna bring up Dan up here. So he's got a little announcement to make. Landon, the guy that we all know, the story we probably use in a lot of our stories and whatnot, talking to different clients and different business owners, is he, the guy that broke his spine and everything at the trampoline park. He's having his fundraiser this Saturday to gain more money so he can get the treatment in Miami, so we can actually, speed up his process of hopefully being able to walk again and whatnot. So I'm just gonna bring up Dan here. I'm gonna let him talk about this. And, again, a lot of things we're very careful of what we pick and choose and all that kind of stuff. But here, this is a story that we all use and stuff like that. So we're gonna get Dan just to say a few words about it, and if you guys want to be coming out to it. So let's give Dan a huge round of applause.
See me? How's it going, everyone?
Yes, we can see you.
Perfect. I'm seeable. So yeah, so a lot of you know this story. This story's been going on for a long time. This young man's like very tenacious in his pursuit to actually regain his functionality and get back to walking again. And I have nothing but admiration, because a lot of people just quit and they just kind of submit to their condition. But he got accepted into a trial where they're using special cells to help him hopefully be able to walk again right day. And the trial itself is paid for, but for him to go to Miami, which is where the trial is, the cost of living and the cost of him being there and having a nurse to basically help him is going to be the expensive part. So this whole function is being put together so that they can raise the money for him to live in Miami while he's going through this treatment and through this process, and hopefully get a strong result on the other side. So the event itself is being hosted by Wayne Lee. If I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's basically Edmonton's hypnotist, Edmonton's most famous hypnotist, I would guess you would say. He's basically donating his time for the event. A lot of people are donating their time and effort toward this event in order to support Landon and what he's doing. It's going to get lots of media coverage. It already has. If you guys watch the news, he's been on the TV, on CBC for these types of things. So it's been quite a large public event. So, and his mom's done everything to support him and do this for him. So this event is basically going to be all about sponsoring or just donating money towards this cause. So basically a few ways that you can go about it is you can sponsor a day, or you can just buy a ticket and show up. There is going to be a silent auction. So it's obviously events like these are just all about raising money. So a lot of people are donating things. So you can come do silent auctions and buy some things. You can just come for the dinner, watch the show, whatever it is. But I'm going to be there for sure, because the thing about Landon is I worked closely with his family, and I've been using his story for pretty much all of my presentations. So I feel like any support I can offer for him, and I think a lot of people in this room are using his story as well, because it's so powerful. I want to be able to obviously give back and support for allowing us to use his story to share with other people, because so many people have heard about Landon and what happened to him, and for us to be able to share his story in regards to how we're able to help people is just I feel like it's a good thing to kind of give back to him in this regard. So if any of you would like to come, it is going to be this Saturday. You can basically donate or not donate as much as you like, but even just to show up there for the dinner and for it to have combined fill up a table. Each table is about 8 people. If you're willing to come out and support and just be there, that would be great. Just to show that D6 is supporting and we're rallying for Landon would be great. And yeah, that's basically it. So I mean, we're gonna get a few more details as we go. I think I've sent Dana a few links and stuff. So if you guys want more information, they'll be in the links. But basically, the bottom line is like we've been fortunate enough to reach out and help people like Landon, and there will be another Landon as we go. So this is a good opportunity to support him, but also for us as D6 to come together and contribute to a community where Landon is the focus in this particular case.
Awesome. Let's give Dan a huge round of applause. Again, Dan is the guy that got to the business owner of this guy, young gentleman, and the business owner saw enough value in what we do and what Dan showed him to get $24, just $24, and that actually got paid out a big, huge chunk of change when he got, and he would never have bought the stuff before, right? And would have got nothing if it wasn't for Dan. So let's give Dan another huge round of applause for making things happen. So guys, the tickets are $100 for the evening, so you get dinner. A lot of that money is going towards him. And then it's Wayne Lee, so it's gonna be a nice fun night. Also on top of that, if we have a team, if we have more than 8 people, we can get a whole table, set up a lot of fun. I'm definitely going, Dan's going for sure. Let me know, and if it's, you know, like I can maybe even take some of the costs or whatnot to help you guys get there. But let's go. If you're not doing anything this Saturday and you really want to show us the support, you get into the energy of what this is. So, and the time is, we'll put it in the, yeah, probably about 6 or 7 on Saturday. So we'll get Dan to punch everything in the group just after the training today. So awesome. To that, D6 one clap. All right, so we're gonna get into training now, guys. What kind of coverage should you recommend? So we're gonna get back into this philosophy here. I'm gonna bring up Dana back up here. She did a great job. Let's give her a huge round of applause. All right, so step 1, our collective why. Now, all the way through this, guys, this is the phrasing. And again, if you don't have this down, I need you guys to really start practicing this, because again, our job right now is to be salespeople, but what's even better about our job is we get to be promoters. And promoters is a lot easier of a game, because all you're doing is talking about the benefits and the things that we're doing that is different. So having all this in your vocabulary and be able to spit it out any single time will change your game. When somebody asks you, like, hey, what are you doing? Insurance, right? Like, you don't want to be stuck with that, right? But having all these things, there's a lot of science by diffusing it, right? So over the next few trainings here, we're going to get people, I'm going to start asking somebody to do their version of this. Because if you can spit it out really quickly all the time, you can change the game when anybody talks to you, when you're going out and you're going to BNIs and all that kind of stuff. Because it's great to go to a BNI or a networking event, but you're just like, hey, how's it going? You're like, what do you do? I'm in insurance. You get hurt. You know, like it's different, right? You can hear how Maggie's doing it. She's asking people and they're talking to them, getting some rapport, and they're going to ask you what you do. And then you can kind of have this little talking about what it is and back and forth. There's a lot of science behind this. There's a lot of promotion behind this. And guys, I tell you, I can tell people's businesses that are starting to use this, AKA Janelle, AKA Paige and Zach, because a lot of this stuff is their vocabulary they're talking about all the time. And if you do that, then your everything starts to change. But if you start telling long stories and winded stories, you don't know what to talk about, this is the kind of stuff, right? Then you can add your own stories into this. So we're gonna go more into it. I'll post it into the group today, so make sure you guys are practicing this, because this is your step 1. This is why you're doing this and why this company, because when people are sitting down with you, that's what they wanna know. They wanna know why you're here. Because I didn't sign up to be an insurance agent, first of all, but this insurance is something totally different. So I'm excited about it. You know, I just had an interview with somebody last night and he's like, yeah, I didn't think insurance would be for me, but he's like, but this is something different. I'm like, exactly. This is an opportunity, because we get to really go out there, and probably one of the coolest phrases I've ever heard, we get paid to get people paid. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you got to understand, how fast and how good this really is. So 100% know these types of things. This is where you're going to get a lot of your lingo down. So let's practice that. We're going to go right into step 2 now, which is the Forum IQ. So again, Randy learned to, like just saying, he learned, okay, when I'm sitting down with somebody and they start talking about a scenario of, you know, they have somebody in the family that's had cancer or heart attacks or whatnot, look what it brought up, right? And we have some of the greatest policies towards it. And I've actually talked to a few people lately about it. And the reason why I don't have my life license, broker license and stuff like that, and they have a lot of great plans out there for CI and life and all that kind of stuff. Just to let you guys know, there's a lot out there, because that's the whole market. The only thing I know about our CI, and you might find some that are a little bit cheaper and a little bit like this, is we pay very early. So you get 10% up front, and then after 14 days, you're gonna get paid. Most of the standard is about 30 days. So you have to survive for 30 days, and this is our difference in our CI, but also I know combined. I don't know XYZ company. I know combined will pay. If it's legitimate, they'll pay, and we all know that. So that's why having our product in their hands is bigger than anything, because we've seen it paid out. So obviously family starts off, occupation, just some fun questions. This is where you're just kicking in it, asking them questions. And I, again, would bring out the piece of paper even to this day, I would still bring out the piece of paper because it gives you the posture, right? Again, just going through a communication and start talking, you might miss something that you're looking for. And again, if it's client first, team second, individual third, you're trying to find. So family, occupation, recreation, and then into the money, right? And then you bring out your privacy policy first, because this is where you may have to, you're going to ask about money. Now, the one thing here is also, if you don't feel like it's a weird spot to ask about how much money do you make, like that's kind of a weird question right at the beginning there, right? So again, what you could just do is be like, this is about money and income, be like, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, right? The industry standard says it's usually your first working hour of the week, but don't worry about that right now. We'll just talk about that towards the end. So you can just move it, but you talk about it, so that even softens the blow again. It gives you an extra step to soften the blow, and then to talk about if you don't feel like it. Just let you guys know, insurance, you are financial, insurance agents, you have your license, you have that kind of stuff for your own posture. But if you feel like you're just talking and you don't want to get into money right off the bat, you can just talk about that. You'll talk about that later. Kind of a nice little soft blow. Make sense? Awesome. And then some of the big ones here, guys. All the other stuff is great to find out, and it's a lot of fun, but these are the big ones. Finding what type of insurance they have, and what do they even like about insurance, what they don't like about insurance. Just in case there's an extra objection handling here, because they're like, oh, I've been ripped off 35 times. Yeah, me too, like all that kind of stuff. That's why I'm here. This is different. This isn't, this is insurance for the people, by the people. I'm not an insurance agent. I'm just want to be showing you what this is. I just gotta let this know because this company does pay, and all that kind of fun stuff. And then qualifications, height and weight, obviously use your discretion. Major health concerns in your family history. So you don't have to, if there's that person is, and you're sitting down with has had of, cancer or whatnot like that, then that you're not going to be showing them certain plans. So you're going to save yourself time and also save them, like, oh, now we're going to go into sickness, and then you show them everything. Oh, actually, you don't qualify. Like that's being, doing an in-service to them, right? So major health concerns for yourself and your family. Does anyone have diabetes, recreational drugs, or require counseling for past or present drug use? Again, this is just a posture. You have to ask these questions. This is what kind of actually adds to your presentation. All right, and then step 3 is the presentation. Should we go through this one? I'll get Dana just to go through this.
Yeah, so this one, guys, really simple. So after you go through and you're ready now to get into your presentation, you've gathered your information. So I always explain to the clients, I'm like, all of our policies work. You can actually click 2 more. All of our policies work like building blocks. Everything works together. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to show you our most unique coverage that everybody is loving, because this is something that I absolutely think everybody should have. Okay. And then I go through, I show them the HEA, like we saw Paige do, the HEA presentation with the sizzle. And then I also tell them before I start, I'm like, once I show you this, I will customize and put together everything else towards a custom plan based on all the information you just gave me. Because like I said, all of our stuff works like building blocks. So I'll show you this first and then customize everything else around that is best suited towards you and what you need. Make sense?
100%.
Then you do the presentation, and then 2 more. And then after the presentation, really simply, I ask these 2 questions because I still don't know exactly what they are looking for. I don't know all of their needs. I know kind of some of the things they're concerned about. I know what they might qualify for, but I don't know if they want, if they're more concerned about hospitalization or disability. So this is where I determine that before I go into showing them everything. So now that they've seen the hospitalization, because you can't ask that question before. You can't say, do you want hospitalization or disability coverage? Because they don't know what hospitalization coverage is. They've never seen it. That's why you show that one first. Okay. So once you show that, based on what we talked about earlier, it seems like what you're most concerned about is. So then you bring it back to form and reiterate, this is what you told me. This is what I think your concerns are. Are you most concerned about being hospitalized and off work for an extended period of time? Are you most concerned about being hospitalized, or are you more concerned about being off work for an extended period of time due to a disability? How they answer that question will tell you what you should show them. And then the next question, are you the type of person that'll go to work no matter what, unless you're confined to a hospital bed? This is how I determine if I'm going to show them sickness disability or sickness hospital, or not show them because I already showed them the hospital, but this is how I determine which one I'm putting on them. Because I'm the type of person that unless I'm confined to a hospital bed, I'll work sick. And unless if you're the type of person that won't work sick, then obviously you should probably have some sickness disability. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So great question, a great fun question, because you might be able to, get some energy out of them. Are you one of the people that, no matter what, you go to work, or, unless you're confined to a hospital bed? There's a lot of people that are stubborn like that. Yeah. I'm definitely one of those stubborn people. if I can go to work, I will go to work, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes there's, and you'll actually hit something where people actually get proud of that one.
Yeah. And then you're able to customize, like, then you're able to go in exactly what makes sense for them. And it's more suited towards your budget instead of showing them everything. If they want to add more things later, then you can add more things later. But this will be suited towards their budget and not exceed what it is that they absolutely need.
Awesome. All right. So next up here, guys, we're going to go through a certain scenario. So I'll get Dana to walk through this one here. So again, taking information down is probably key here on the scenario. We'll go back through it afterwards, but making sure you're paying attention to what would you recommend for this when you sat down with them. Again, sitting down with Form IQ, you're not going to show everybody the exact same thing every time. HEA, yes, but everything else you want to custom it towards their family.
All right, so this one's fun. Everybody meet Ken and Barbie.
Oh.
This is a different scenario, obviously, since Salmonella on Thursday. They're sick. They couldn't make it today. So,
Last thing, chicken.
so Ken and Barbie, their family, they have Ken, who's 37, Barbie is 34, Skipper is 8, Stacy is 6, and little Kenneth is 4. All right. Their occupation. So Ken is self-employed. He does admin, and Barbie is a domestic engineer. Yes, it is a housewife. It's my fancy way of saying housewife. So Barbie's a domestic engineer. Their daily activities. So I clearly meant to say Ken is a truck driver, not self-employed. Sorry about that, guys. So cross out self-employed. Ken is a truck driver. Yeah. His daily activities are transportation. So he's on the road all the time. What about your spouse and kids? Skipper has a paper route. Barbie helps her with that. Awesome. Recreation. What do you guys do for fun? All the kids have quads. Skipper dances. Stacy does gymnastics. Kenneth just started karate.
Awesome.
And what would you like to do for fun that you may not be doing now due to the risk factor? Ken really likes rock climbing, but isn't doing it currently because it's a little too risky. And money. So industry standard is that you spend the first working hour's wage of every week towards covering yourself and your family. So we determined that their income is $180,000 a year. Everybody got that?
Uh-huh.
All right, perfect. So Ken is not self-employed in admin. Ken is a truck driver. His job is transportation. He's always on the road.
Usually truck drivers are self-employed though.
Okay.
Yep. So it probably makes sense.
Just not in admin.
Yeah, not in admin. He's a self-employed truck driver.
All right. So what type of insurance do they currently have? They have life insurance and they have benefits and coverage through Ken's work.
Nice.
Qualifications, height and weight, use your discretion. Ken is a little on the larger side. Any major health concerns in your family history? Nothing major. No major health concerns. Major health concerns for yourself and your family? Nothing that they're aware of. And anybody have diabetes, use recreational drugs, or require counseling for past or present drug or alcohol use? Ken has diabetes. It was diagnosed after 40.
How tall is
Gonna
Ken?
have to make some lifestyle changes if he's gonna rock climb. Holy.
How
That's
tall-
why we're here.
Let's-
How tall is
let's-
Ken?
Let's make Ken, how tall do we want Ken to be?
6'2".
6'2", and,
Just gorgeous.
but how, yeah. Ken is 6'2", and I'm assuming your question next would be weight?
Yeah.
What's really big for 6'2"?
Maybe make
I
him
would say-
shorter. Make him shorter if you want him to be. Or what do you want?
Ken has still been the model from back in his model days.
Yeah, but he's put on some weight.
Yeah, so let's say 6'2", 310.
All right.
So guys, let's get some shares. So somebody that feels like, you know, confident. Again, we're doing this as a team. There's no really wrong answer or anything like that. I'm not going to be like wrong or anything like that. It's us to learn just like what is the best fit for it, right? And understanding a little bit about, you know, what their budget is and everything like that. So if they're making 180,000, he's making that kind of money per hour. If you just did industry standard, that's probably, if he was working 40 hours a week, it's about 86 bucks.
Yeah.
86, yeah, 86 bucks. But again, a truck driver is never working 40 hours a week, just to let you know. So it could be anywhere, the budget could be anywhere from $50 right to, I'd say $80. So again, that would probably be per month, anywhere from 200 to 320 for the family, finding exactly what their budget is and exactly how much coverage he does have with other stuff. So that
Mark,
being,
can I just ask a question on that, because that's extremely confusing, because industry standard says should be the first hour to cover self, not family. You can't manage that kind of income based for like you can't fit a whole entire family based on a first hour of earning capacity. That's typically the income earners covering the income earners. So us trying to manage an expectation of covering a whole entire family on one person's income the first hour of each week makes it extremely difficult. And once we've said it and put it out there, I think it might be hard to recover from. And that's just an opinion. Sorry for interrupting.
oh no, that's totally okay. D61 clap, 100%. At the end of the day, guys, you guys are the sales agent. You guys can say what you want, and what you want. You can say it's $1 million, right? It doesn't matter. But the point is, going through with it is, here's a guideline that you can use. If you can see it, it's something that you can say and give you a bit of posture. If they see value in it, you can always give them, this is $320 is their budget, their max. Maybe you give them the top one of $350 with everything. You show them a $300, and then you show them a $200, because you never know what people are going through and how good they are with their money and everything like that. And he does have other stuff. So again, 100%, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and be like, hey, you only make this much and you only want to spend this much on your family, and they can't really get their family covered. Again, the cool thing is we can always go back and talk to them again and upgrade them on different things. So great job, Teresa, 100%. It is, making sure you don't shoot yourself in the foot. I think right across the board, it could be okay as something to start with, because it does give a bit of posture, or you can find out what they're comfortable with in other routes, right? So
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I would focus more on the lines of saying covering an individual, not a whole entire family.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely a starting point on the family. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's get a share from somebody off in Edmonton here, and then we'll get a share from Zoom. We'll go Paige and Blair in the corner, both wearing black. They planned it. D6.
So we took the 180,000 a year. We divided it by 12. That's 15 grand a month. So with our industry standard, how we were figuring it out and how we would have presented it, that's about $3,750 a week that he's taking home. And then we divided that just by 5 days, which is $750 a day. And then I just divided it by 8 hours. I know truck drivers do work longer, but just to stay on par with employees. So that's $93.75. That's his first hour's worth of wages. Then I times that by 4 weeks, because there's 4 weeks in the month. They're saying the industry standard is to spend the first hour of each week. So that would be a total of $375. So that's what me and Blair based our budget off of.
Awesome.
Not shooting high, but we can always go down from there. So we started off with talking about the family coverage, because all of them are very active. So for the gymnastics, the dancing, the rock climbing, and all of the karate and quadding, the HEA is definitely where we would start with that, because we cover all recreational activities. So we highballed it with the top plan, $136, which would pay out the $300 a day for kids as well, which is amazing. Next, because he is the only one that is working and generating an income, that's where I would have the conversation with the wife and him is, if something happened to him and he could not bring in this $3,700 a week, would you guys be in a little bit of trouble? What would your plan B be? Do you have savings for that if that did happen? So that's where I would have that conversation there. Most likely, because people aren't very well, don't do very well all the time in what I've experienced with their savings plans. They save for trips, they save for new quads and toys, but they don't necessarily save for loss of wages. So that's where we thought the Income Guard accident only 24-hour coverage for $5,000. So a base of, let me see here. It was a base benefit of $1,000 and an income benefit of $4,000. So that would give them the $5,000 there, which was $82 a month. And then when we talked about the sickness for the family, with the diabetes, that wasn't a knockout, but with the height and weight, I think he was, how many pounds over?
6'2", 110.
Yeah, but he was 11 pounds overweight. So in that situation, I would just say, I want to call underwriting because Zach was saying that you can maybe get an exception for within 10 pounds,
Mhm.
but that
No. Paige,
No?
his three. Yeah.
okay, well, that's good. So then that's
No, I
fine.
just
That
mean
keeps us on track.
I just said Marcus said his 310, and it's 258. So it's more
Okay,
than
so
18
yeah, he's
pounds,
way
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he was
Sorry,
I
disqualified.
called underwriting as well and found out the
Yeah,
same
still
thing.
call. but
Yeah,
he
for
is more
sure.
than 10
For
pounds
sure.
heavier,
Okay, so I'm just going to finish so then you guys can share and then we'll keep moving on. So HES, the family, we based it on a plan one based on the mom's age because we couldn't put the dad on it, which would be $78. An AD&D family benefit would be $64 on the max plan. And then we had a $14 to spare, so we put $11 outpatient essentials on the dad. So he would be covered for 100% accident if anything happened, and then the wife and kids would have the sickness.
Awesome. D61 clap. Great job, guys. 100%. That's some good stuff. Does anybody else have anything else to add from the room that you would add to their policy in the room here? Yeah, and go.
Okay, so because he's the only, how they say, income brother in the family, and he's a truck driver, I would totally add an AD a full AD&D on that one,
Nice.
which is not that expensive, at least for him, if not for the whole family, especially that they are very active and do all those fun activities.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Good ad. T61 clap. And I think he did have a little bit of life insurance, but again, the whole family on AD&D, that's the really cool about our new family plans. There's a lot there to just, to make sure everything's protected. So great job. Yeah.
And that just because they have like 3 children and
for
that's
sure.
a quite big family.
Yeah, definitely. Family plan for AD&D is an awesome new one. Great job, Engel. All right, let's go to Zoom and let's get a share or two from there, and then we'll go to Calgary. Hello, Zoom. Anything else you guys want to add on to that, or?
Well, Janelle was our spokesperson, but our concern was, well, for us, what we would have, the adjustments that we were talking that we would have made would have been not necessarily income guard, but the income essentials, because if he did have group benefits, they would have to follow the fee schedule. So he'd only ever get paid either from income guard or his group benefits, and we wouldn't want him, pay for something he might not get to use based on that. So we put in income, the other one, income essentials, because to top it up, to actually give him that that little bit of money until his long-term disability kicked in.
Awesome, fantastic. D61 clap for Zoom. No, that's a great addition there. Obviously, asking a couple more questions because they may have had the disability benefits, they may have not had it, right? And so asking those questions again, that's why it's the best to even give all the information when you write down the Form IQ to get all the information, because you might be just off a little bit, or you might find out the exact answer. All right, let's go to Calgary or Janelle.
Hi, it's Ginny. I just wanted to make a comment about the height and weight restrictions, because I did call underwriting recently about a 10-pound weight discrepancy, and they said unequivocally, absolutely not what you see in the on the graph is what you go with. They've already allocated for that extra amount, they said. So, I mean, I guess every time we could call, maybe somebody is going to say something differently, but that's what they told me.
Yeah. No, and guys, that's why they're there. So D61 clap. That's why they're there, right? So you can always, you always want to do what's best for the client there, but obviously protecting the family on the sickness and just saying, yeah, you know what, you're just a little bit outside the weight category. We can review this again in, 3 to 6 months and see.
Go to the gym.
Sorry, go to the gym.
Oh
Obviously, probably don't say that, but but the idea is, it's obviously giving them the awareness of it, right? And that actually kind of helps. And sometimes you're like, whoa, if I was 10, 15 pounds a bit lighter, I could be on the sickness plan too, and I really want to be on it. So you might even give them a nice goal that within the next 3 months to 6 months that they could actually be at that weight again, right? So maybe getting the family on a HES, not the full, but maybe like the half or the beginning one, right? Because then you could add him on a little bit later. Awesome. Any other shares from Calgary anywhere else? Yeah, you got Mary there. Go ahead. Just gotta unmute.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome job.
Okay. Just, oh, it was a thumbs up. I thought you were just pointing at the moon. All right. All right. All right, guys. No, so obviously the idea of this is just to, you know, it's great when you get your body thinking and your mind thinking, all that kind of stuff of like, how can I protect? Because everybody's a little bit different. But when you're sitting down with them, that's how important the Form IQ is of writing it out. Because sometimes when you're sitting there, you're just going through a conversation, I promise you, you will not remember every single thing. So even though you've got in your ways and like, okay, I'm just going to shoot through it, the actual posture of actually having a Form IQ page and just writing out them. Now you got to memorize the questions and know what the questions are. You know, you got to do some work there, right? But then when you're writing down the answers, you have them there. You know the ages. You don't have to like, okay, what was the age of the little one again? You don't have to go back and do that. You have it almost all ready for your e-agent to move forward, right? So it's already almost a mental thing of assuming the sale, assuming the posture and everything like that. So let's give Dana a huge round of applause for all that she did here today. Again, her answers and everything like that was pretty much spot on to everybody else out there moving forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump to the video now. Funny enough, it's Mark Wahlberg doing a talk. It's so funny. Somebody called me Mark and Mark today, so that's great. But again, Mark Wahlberg, a guy, where he's come from and where did he go? But where he's gone in his career and all the kind of stuff he's had to battle through, and a guy from like, you know, just the south side of Boston and stuff like that. Like, you have to, you know, get outside your comfort zone, outside your environment, and go really after your dreams here. So he has a nice little 5-minute video here. So on Zoom, push play, Calgary push play, and we'll push play here in Edmonton, and we'll come back in a handful. Words of wisdom. I'm not talking about myself in third person. So with that, guys, the video, let's get a few shares just from the video of something you learned today that you want to put into action. And then we'll get into just my last little part here, just based on a little bit of money. So who'd like to start off in Edmonton, and then we'll go to Zoom, then to Calgary? Any share? Awesome.
Hey, from the video, I just loved, he just kept saying, do the best you can. That's all we have control over. We don't have control over situations around us. We have just control on how much effort we put in and how we handle our results after. Like you said, like feeling accomplished in the morning and not getting so discouraged and putting yourself in a position that you're around good people. So I definitely love coming to the office. Janelle, you've been such an inspiration this week. All week talking to you on the phone has just been so uplifting to me as well. It's like that winning mindset, that winning attitude, I think is contagious. And I think I feel so excited for you. So I know exactly how you're feeling. And I think it's so cool because she is so vulnerable and open about her entire journey. She says, like, I had no experience before, and all she's doing is just putting in her 100% effort, the best she can, and sharing this with people. So Janelle, thanks for everything. You've been such an inspiration to the whole team this week.
Awesome, Paige. D6, one clap, and one for Janelle. We'll get to see and hear from her on Thursday. And she'll probably get paid, so she'll fly in. Awesome. All right, let's go to Zoom for a share.
I can share quickly. I just want to say, okay, first off, Paige, thank you. That's amazing. It's the recognition from the team is actually like almost why you should almost strive to be better, because it's amazing. It's just like it's unbelievable. So thank you so much. You inspire me too. That's why we talk all the time, because I'm always like, what would Paige do? Randy, that what you said this morning about how you learned it and then you went to your client's house and then they brought it up and then you just sold them on it. Like, that's amazing. You would have never done that before. So I'm very proud of you. That's amazing. And that's what I did too when I first started. I just learned everything. And then when people brought stuff up, it was way easier to sell. And like you said, you're not going to sell people on stuff that you don't know, right? So that's inspiration right there. So thank you for that. And then great training today. I love doing these exercises. It's just a great kind of tester to see what you come up with and how you can help clients and that sort of stuff. And then within the movie, he said he changed who he surrounded himself with. And I'll talk about this more on Thursday, but again, it brings it all into what you do every day, and who you surround yourself with is what is portrayed in your life. So if you're constantly around people who are negative, or people that don't help you grow, then you're always going to be negative and you never grow. So, and if you're not growing, then you're dying. So that was just that's literally what I've learned in my journey. So I just wanted to say that. Thanks.
Awesome, Janelle. Big D61 clap. And great job. We're looking forward to hearing from you on Thursday. And words from Janelle, don't be dead. Let's go to Calgary and get a share.
I'll go. Nobody's reacting. All right. As usual, it's such a great training today. Thank you, Mark. I'd like to give Dan a huge shout out. If you guys are in Edmonton, like I would be there if I would be in Edmonton. And this is like such a big break for D6. We could show the community how we are as a team. So yes, 100% for that. Dana, awesome job with that training that we have. And you look so sleek today. I like that quote. Teresa, I love that you are better now. Thank you so much. You talk a lot, so that means you're well. I'm happy about that. And Janelle, oh my goodness, you're such an inspiration. We're looking forward for Thursday. So I hope everybody's going to be here on Thursday so that we could hear all your words of wisdom. And thank you everyone for coming to the office today. And that's my share. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary. D61 clap. Thank you from Calgary. All right, so I'm just going to bring out this board here. And usually I don't talk about money because I'm just going to give you guys this scenario. It came to me a long time ago. And it's almost a proposition for you. And if you want to take it, it's an idea. It's a proposition for you if you want to take this or not. So again, it's not for everybody. This business is the exact pace you want to go or anything like that. But how about if I just give you an idea, a proposition, right? Sound good with you guys? Sounds pretty good? Because you can see the very top. In 1 year from now, this day forward, it doesn't matter if you're beginning, you just started now, or you're starting, you've been here for 2-3 years. In 1 year from now, if I promised you, if you just did all the things that need to be done, that we're put on our list of what we need to accomplish to get done, you get a bonus of $200,000 in exactly 1 year from now. Who's in? Who's not in? I don't understand money. We'll go back to that. But it's 1 year, 200K bonus. That sounds still good? Pretty good. I don't think anybody would not be part of that, right? But here's the things. Here's the requirements. I need 12 hours a day. I need 6 days a week. 1 day a week is yours, but 6 days a week, I need 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. Sound good? Still, people still in? Paige, yes. Okay, so here's how this.
But I'm saying yes.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely know you. Here, the things also you need to be at is meetings. You need to be at presentations. And at meetings and presentations and setup Sundays and everything like that, I need you to be there 15 minutes early. Why do you have to be there 15 minutes early? Because proper preparation defeats poor decision. And if you're there not scrambled, you understand your client, you're sitting down with them and you're respecting their time. Because the only thing that we can't take away from anybody is their time. So be definitely respectful. So all meetings, 15 minutes early. Minimal complaining. Let's just do that. Just throw that in there. It's a personal one for me. Just minimal complaining because, you know, we want to get the job done. And yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, it's going to be that kind of stuff. But think about the goal, $200,000 in 1 year from this time. Now, I got to give you a bit of income because you can't just be waiting for that bonus, right? So we're going to pay you $6, District 6, times 12 hours a day, times 6 days a week, times 52 weeks equals $22,464, which is nothing shattering, but it gives you enough to eat. Now, what you might have to do here, because that's about $1,800 a month, give or take. So you might have to cut some expenses, right? So if you're thinking $1,800 and you're like, oh, my rent's $1,000. Well, you maybe have to do it for this year. What is worth it? If in a year from now, you're going to get $200,000, will you maybe go living with a buddy for a year? Maybe you not take as many vacations. Oh, I made a good little bit of money here. I don't have to go on vacations. Or maybe not go on so many weekends up to Banff or whatever like that. Because here's the goal, $200,000. Everybody still in? And I got 4 kids. No, that's a great one. That's great, right? You got 4 kids and he's got to do that. But in a year from now, you get 200,000. Because I can give you $20 an hour, right? You give you $20 an hour, but you don't get this now. I'm just going to give you $20 an hour for the rest of your life. Because then you're only going to get maybe 80 grand. And you're ever going to get ahead that way. Because a bonus of 200,000 changes everything. So what I'm trying to say is you might have to make some sacrifices to do this. Because we live in a world where it's material world and everything like that. But all that's all being said, still pretty cool, right? You can do it for 1 year. Just 1 year, go ahead and do that. The only other thing I'm going to say here, because I know you're like, what's the catch? Not much of a catch. If you miss a meeting, you disqualify the bonus. If you miss a presentation that you said that you were going to be at and you cancel because of whatever reason, you miss the bonus. And if you're ever anything more than 15 minutes late, if you're anything less than 15 minutes early, you disqualify the bonus. Does that sound good with everybody? You still willing to do it? Does it make sense? Yeah. Could you do it? Because if you could do it and you would do it, I would say this one line to you. Welcome. Welcome to the top 1 to 3% of people. Because that's what it takes. I know we go quiet now, but it is no joke. People that are successful work 12 hours a day and do that kind of stuff, but welcome to the top 1 to 3% and watch your life change. Because then people come to you with opportunities. Then you start making the income that you can go talk about. So let's just use, for example, what's possible. Somebody this week did 18,500 APV. We've had people do more in this office in a week and even over a month period, but let's just use the one we just saw today. Sound good? Yep. Times 52 weeks, times 0.8 because you're bonusing every time with that. 769,600. Now who believes they can go do that? It's possible. If she did that every single week, that's what's possible as an agent. You don't have a team, you don't have anything like that. $769,000, that is the numbers. You cannot lie with numbers. That is what it is. Now, obviously, it's not easy to do 18,500 every week right now. But over time, I really believe it could really go into that, right? If you're doing 20, 30 presentations a week, that's the kind of numbers you could be seeing yourself doing. But let's just divide it by 4, guys. And what do you get? $192,000. That means if you really do it really quickly, that's 18,500 per month, which is in a 4-week period, which means some weeks you're going to do 2,500, some weeks you're going to do 10,000, some weeks you're going to do 5,000. But if you hit 18,500 every month, you're going to be making $192,000. But what does it take? So I usually don't talk about money. You guys know I don't do that too often here, but here's an idea of just what it is, because what is possible here. But to do that, I mean, you heard Mark Wahlberg talk about it. Is he saying anything you're just like, yes, thank you, Mark. I'm running to the streets. That's what you've heard the same thing every single time. What do they tell you? Work hard, stay focused. Don't let distractions go. Surround yourself with positive people and you can have everything that you ever wanted. And why is he saying that? Because he is a person that did exactly that. So if you want other things other people have, it has to take some work. It has to take some possibility. It has to take some focus. And if you did that for 1 year, I promise you that you can make $192,000. But are you willing to go do it? Because anybody in the right mind would be like, yeah, I'll do that for a year and get 200K. That's sweet. But when you do this yourself, it changes everything for your business. Because right here, this is called freedom. So you don't have to worry about the bills. It's right around just under $20,000 a month. When you're at that point, and if it's just your income, you're not really worrying about too many things anymore. You can go places, you can afford things, you can have a little bit of the house that you want, right? Obviously, there's the next level, but that's where it starts. You're not worried about your bills. That makes sense with everybody. So the idea of today is just to give you guys a mindset of like, again, it's not about numbers, it's not about money, because you can make, divide that by 4, right? That's 50,000, right? So now you're understanding it's 5,000 APV per week kind of thing, right? So understanding how simple it can get, but this is what it is. And this is what successful people do. They work their butt off a lot so they can pay over for the rest of the time. I've never seen a company like this, guys, that does this and pays residuals. I'm not just talking about, because I mean, we're a brand new office pretty much, 3 years. And I can talk about people's residuals here, which are pretty amazing. Even when they take time off, they somehow get paid. It's amazing. At the same time, I'm talking about the other company that I've talked about, like when I'm on the trips, these guys have been here and they're making incredible amounts of income as residual. And that's where I know we're in the right place at the right time, because this company does pay this way. We get paid to get people paid. So our job now is just to go out there and do exactly what we need to do. Show this thing. You can't decide on the result. You just go out there and do activity, make the phone calls, go sit in front of people, show them what this is. You're the first to market in Edmonton and Calgary and in everywhere else, or and on your own island there, Janelle. It's open season. So make sure you guys are taking this opportunity and going out there, especially on these weeks, building up to Ardmores and stuff like that. Let's go celebrate. We had 14 people on the last trip. Let's go do things. I want to let you guys know we're running the incentives. We'll release everything on Monday. Everything will be retroactive to the beginning of the quarter. So this last week and this week here counts towards it. We'll launch the whole contest and everything on Monday. And also there's gonna be a cool little prize. We're gonna be doing a new video. So some of the top people will be getting to be on the video. That's going to go out there to every single person. So with that, guys, honestly, let's have a great week. Great job last week. Fantastic, Janelle. Thank you, Dana, for the training and all the great shares today, guys. So let's give everybody a huge round of applause and finish off with, we're District 6N? We're District 6N? We're District 6N? Turn your neighbor, give them a high five, say, we got this. Great job, Zoom. Great job, everybody. Great job, Edmonton. Great job, Calgary.